Everyone, welcome to the analysis for today, Thursday, September 25th. So let's bring in the news. So tomorrow we got 8:30 a.m. core PCE price index. Today we got a very volatile day. So this is our weekly chart now, and here on the daily on ES, you can see we closed right above the 66.56, and right now Asia session is barely holding above that level. We retested the 20 moving average as well. It's not a moving average that I use constantly or as a big reference. I mostly use the 50 and the 200, but I got the 20 to have a more trend following, faster moving average. And you can see we got a very precise touch there today back into that. So upside 66.96 was the daily level that we lost on Wednesday, and 66.56 now the key daily level. Below this, it would pretty much be all the way to 65.73, which was this previous resistance area before the breakout. Hourly chart. So yesterday, when I made the analysis, we were opening right around here. So this was the two major distributions we were dealing with, and then this was the weekly profiles, okay? And I mentioned what I wanted to see was a strong close through 67.04 and then a back test and hold to look for a move to the highs of Wednesday. But that did not happen. We did close just above that level here, almost around the midnight Eastern hour, but pretty much right at midnight we just started the move down, and then London opened, and after Europe opened we just continued in the big down move. So now we are into this lower major distribution. So now this is going to be the main area to focus on now. A back test of the 66.80s. So this was the support, the lows of Wednesdays, then support Thursday before the breakdown, okay? So right now, like I said, we're just holding at this daily level. If we can start pushing up, first target is 66.73, which you can see has a big edge here on the weekly. This was all this highs of pullback rejection that we had, and you can see going back 2 weeks, this was a very significant resistance area as well. Very flat profile there, extended. Okay, so first area right here, and then after that we're looking for a back test of the 66.84s. If we can break above this, then look to flip to support, and we're looking again into this low volume node area here on the weekly profile. Downside, we have the bottom edge of the node. So first 66.42 and then the 66.30s, which was the lows on today on Wednesday. So you can see a lot of failed breakdown setups today. Very volatile. We had the big move down, a move right back up, the entire move retraced again, and then the entire move back up again. So now our major area right here is, like I said, this whole range from the 66.80s down into the 66.30s. And pretty much we're sitting exactly right around the point of control now from the weekly volume profile, which if we go into the weekly profile chart, so you can see right here, big node, point of control, that's exactly where we are. Remember, point of controls are areas where there's the most number of transactions between buyers and sellers, so price will tend to stick to those areas. But now all attention will be on this area right here, low volume node, top edge of this high volume node. So first target will be a move back into this upper edge. If we can have a strong break, then flip this to support back at the low of this node, and then we can look for a move into the top area of the node there first, which you can see it's actually lining up very nicely with the weekly VWAP. But then downside, we're looking at bottom edge here. You can see coming from last week as well. We have this low volume node areas, which lines up right with the bottom edge of this node right there as well. So last week and this week, the two high volume nodes are matching up pretty well together. So we have our clear levels there. Overall, like I said, bullish scenario is we get back above 63.73 and we can get to the 66.80s and back inside of this high volume node. If we can flip the 66.80s as support, then we're retaking these levels, and then we would have pretty clear targets up. So that's the main mission now for the bulls, is to get back above 66.80s going into tomorrow. Tick chart. Overnight, we just had a little push. We had a double distribution on Wednesday, and then here at the right at the open on Wednesday night Asia, we went right to this low volume node resistance, and then we started a very quick move down. You can see we did find some support near the bottom edge of this node here, but then eventually it did break down. And then opening into today's session, we had the flush down, started bottoming, then we had the nice trendline breakout, and you can actually see the high today was exactly right at this low volume node zone from the overnight session at the 66.73 hourly level there. And now overnight, it's easier to look at this on the 5 minutes. So this is the same, what we talked about 5 minutes. RTH high was right at the top edge of the overnight high volume node that we have over here. And then you can see right here we had breakdown. Then we came and started holding as support at the bottom edge for this move, flush down below the low from the open, and then reclaimed again. So a lot of false breakout opportunities and reversals. Again, we had the high at the open, false break, and complete reversal. False break of the low of the open, reverse, and then move to the other side. So a lot of volatility today. And now you can see we are pushing down. First area of interest will be this low volume node area. Let me mark it with a rectangle. So this would be our first target area, which you can see price is actually coming into it pretty soon. So this is the daily level we talked about. We want to hold above this, and we want to be able to break up here, get back to 66.73, the highs of today of the RTH, and flip that to support for a continuation higher. Nasdaq weekly chart, and you can see here just a lot of wicks. This is going to be a very heavy area of support if we do come down there. This is the view on the daily. So again, this area we're talking about was all this highs here. So we retested 24,553 and held, but you can see we're already starting to print a red candle for today, for Friday. So we'll see how this looks when New York opens. Next major level down, 24,285. Hourly. So yesterday, we talked about this high volume node. When I started the analysis, we were right here. So we had an amazing reaction to this low volume node area right here. And we came up, and I said I wanted to see this break up, flip as support, get back into this node, and then we would look for the upper edge of the high volume node here. But you can see that we came and for 4 hours tried to break out, and then at midnight we just started rolling over, and then very impulsive move all the way down. We did find the low right at the open of New York at the 9 o'clock candle, and that's where we got the big reversal. But now we came back and rejected off of the bottom edge here, which is the 24,672, and you can see we're starting to roll over here. So we don't have a very large high volume node now in these areas. I mean, we have some smaller distributions there. I would say strong close below the daily level, 24,553. And we would be looking right around the bottom edge areas, which was the lows of Thursday. And if we continue even further, then 24,333 is a major resistance, a major hourly level there, where we can expect some support there. You can see here, just testing out. So yeah, you can see just a very inclined trend line here. So we need to reclaim above this low volume node area, and then that will give bulls the momentum to move up into the highs of Thursday here. Weekly profiles. So this is again the major low volume node area to look for, and you can see this area matches up very nicely with the area from last week as well. Okay, downside, we are almost breaking through these little cuts, so this will be the next major cuts we're looking at, down into 24,530s. And here I can actually connect these lows. I'll connect these lows, and this could be a useful trend line to look for a third touch confirmation of that trend line. TPO, right now we are leaving a poor high at this extended hour session, but that can possibly get fixed pretty soon. Other than that, we don't have any single prints nearby to fix or poor high lows. Ticks, we had the overnight open with a slight push up, but then just like ES, most of the extended hours was in a very strong downtrend. And unlike ES, where we did have a more significant pullback in the New York session, here we pushed down further, but we did get same trend line scenario breakout. And now marking off here. This is the major node from the session, which you can see we've already broken below there. So 24,530s would be the next major low volume node support that we have there. Let's look at this on the 5 minutes. So we are barely holding, about to break below this low volume node support from the RTH session. So if we continue down here, let me adjust this trend line. We have the low of RTH, which was the support here. So this would be the first area that we're looking at, down into the 24,553 daily level. And then below that we have again the trend line there as well. Just zoom out a lot so you can see this level. Big resistance, we broke out and we haven't here today. We found some support right before RTH opened, but then we had the big volatile movements back and forth on this. This edge here, you can see we've already lost that. We had support near the close, support overnight, but now we've already lost that level. So looking at the daily as the next level to see, but again, we just got to see how we open once New York starts. I'm looking at the two major distributions and then on the weekly profile right over here. So I want to see us get back above here. If we come down, then definitely want to see this holding into this lower node that we have there. Otherwise, potentially all the way down to 24,333. Okay, and actually, I mean, it's not really looking that good. You can see structurally, we lost the support. We lost the support, and we've been making continuous lower highs. Okay, but we'll see how New York opens. And again, I'll be back on the weekend for a new full breakdown analysis on this. Okay, take care, and we'll talk again soon.